Welcome to our daily program on Nigerian Super Fans Forum. Yesterday, at the World Cup, my name is Olafemi Ashalu. Of course, it is the day after Ghana's 3-2 defeat to Portugal at the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Of course, there's been a reaction from Otto Addo and, of course, the captain of the side himself, talking about Andre Ayew, about what they feel about that defeat. So James Agberebi and Kayode Ogundare joins me via video. Kayode wasn't around on our review of that game, but of course, he's live and direct on the show this morning. Guys, you're welcome to yesterday at the World Cup.
Femi, thank you very much. It's a pleasure. I saw your reaction, and I am very, very grateful for the quality of discussion you and James had over the game. It was so enriching. I will just quickly add, because actually there shouldn't be any more addition, but let me just say that for me, watching the game, I saw a Ghana that was so compact, beyond my expectation. They were so disciplined, focused, although there were initial hiccups at the beginning, but they got over it and they were able to contain Portugal. They confirmed what I said in the preview, that this Portugal are not a fantastic side for me. Forget the big names. They are not a fantastic side. I rate them in the same category with Belgium. For me, that's my opinion. I don't know about other people. But I think everything went south after they equalized. The moment Andre Ayew scored like this, the team just lost its shape. They lost the game that they've been managing all along. The midfield that was compact. The work that it was the guy from RC Lens, forgotten his name now, that he was doing in the middle of the park, the work that Kudus was doing, the work that Party was doing, everything just fell apart. And that's because they could no longer manage the game, Femi. And that was the beginning of everything that eventually transpired. I cannot afford not to talk about the penalty. For me, a million times I would tell you that was not a penalty in my box. I don't know the motivation of the referee, whether he just wanted to do Ghana in, or it was just a plain human error. I don't know and I don't care. But for me, I will argue this with anybody until the end of time. That was not a penalty. It was not a penalty. I even heard Mark Clattenburg, who was the referee and the analyst on officiating, who said that if the players had been shoulder to shoulder, that there was no foul, but that because Mohamed Salisu put his hand on Ronaldo's back and pushed him to the floor. So I had to go back to check a replay to see where exactly did that happen. Femi, I couldn't see it. That means somebody lied. And on TV, a game that we all watched, this was not radio commentary. We all saw the game. Yeah. There was no time that Salisu put his hand on Ronaldo's back. So they are just trying to look for an excuse for what was an error. An error of omission or commission. I don't know and I don't care. But for me, that was what happened. And I think now, I don't like crying over split make. That game is gone. It is gone since yesterday. Now they have to face the two remaining games, and these are two World Cup finals for them. How we gonna react to this? Will they have a victims mentality that everybody's against us? If whatever we do, we're not going to be good enough, or they are going to use this to thrive? Will they use it as a fertilizer to thrive? That whatever is going to happen, whichever referee they are going to bring, we are going to play to win and win clearly. And for me, if the Ghanaians can put in the kind of effort, the kind of dedication that I saw them put in against Portugal, against the two remaining teams, I'm sure that they are going to qualify from that group. That is my belief. That's my belief.
James, I'll come to you now. Andre Ayew has called for calm. He told them his brothers back home, his brothers and sisters back home, of course, the rest of Africa, to remain calm, that the Black Stars will do their best to qualify for the group. Of course, I think it's the message that everyone needs at this time, because all of us are still reeling from that poor officiating. Because, like we say that here, that if the penalty hadn't gone the Portugal's way, maybe the game could have ended 2-2 at least.
Exactly, it's possible.
Yeah. So I think he's right. This is not the time to start crying about spirit make. That's happened. What they need to do now is to focus on the next game, their next final that they're going to be playing. So decisions like once it's taken, it's taken. Yes, once it's taken, no going back. We all know that was a questionable call. That VAR did not even intervene. The VAR did not even ask the referee to go and check which means they just decide to take the decision on their own. And that's the downside about VAR. The technology is there to aid the referee, but at the end of the day, you see that they are the ones who are even messing up the new technology because of some of their biased calls that they used to make. So it's, like I said, this time to just move forward, build from the game against Portugal, use it in the next encounter against South Korea. Remember what we said in our previous edition, that this like a grudge match against South Korea, based on what
sports vice president, FA vice president.
Yeah, that Ghana
have to be Ghana unconditional.
You have to be exactly. So this now an opportunity to put him in his place. So I'll just take out the positives from the game against Portugal. They should just concentrate on that. Where they made errors, they should just try and work it out. And I believe they have what it takes to beat South Korea and move on.
Okay, guys, let's look at the other games that were played yesterday. Of course, Cameroon, another African representative, they opened the 5 at the tournament, but unfortunately, they lost 1-0 to Switzerland when we thought that they would be able to maybe at least get a point. And I saw this message on Facebook. I'm very angry with Cameroonian defenders not being able to track down Mbolo before that game. Kyle, I'll allow you to quickly react to that very message you posted on Facebook.
Yeah, I said that on Facebook, and that the Cameroonians, out of the 5 African teams, they've been the most disorganized, the most they do not have any tactical discipline. If you look back at that goal, there were about 6 Cameroonians in the box, yet not one of them could track Mbolo. Not one of them. That means they were focused on the ball, not on the man. And you cannot focus on the ball and leave the man, because the ball will not go into the net of itself. Somebody has to put it in the net, and you have to focus on the man. So if you are not tracking, then you are not doing anything. I saw the team labor; they were struggling to even transition Femi from defense into midfield into attack. If you put them side by side with what you saw against about the Ghanaians, you saw that the Ghanaians were fluid in transition. They were always like trying to move the ball from the defense to midfield into attack. But the Cameroonians were not able to do this. The number 12 shirted Kambi, who had more of the ball, more than any other person, was so sluggish that he wasn't moving the ball quickly enough. And for me, I wasn't surprised that they lost. For me, at the end of the day, for me, out of the 5 African teams now, I think Cameroon's performance has been the worst. And this is not because they lost. Thankfully, other countries have also lost. So it's not because they lost the game. It is because of their output. That's what I feel was not good enough for me.
I felt a lot of Cameroonians back home. We said it that Rigobert song, and so we told you about Rigobert song. But James, quickly, I will allow you to react to Choupo-Moting. He missed a couple of chances that maybe the Indomitable Lions could have even easily won the game.
We've said it at times without number that in the World Cup, there are some games where chances will come at a premium. So you just have to try and take that chance that looks glaring. Cameroon had like 3 chances in the first half. We have wrapped the game up in the first half, but what was Choupo-Moting doing? He was just filtering everything away, believing more chances will come. They got into good positions, but I mean, the goal Switzerland scored, it was not different from what Cameroon were just throwing away. We were just that this is a well-drilled team. When Mbolo, he just positioned himself and he struck. They almost got the second goal from the same style. From the right, cut it back. But thanks to Onana, who was the right place at the right time. So for me, Cameroon, with what I've seen, I am not banking on them for anything. Eto'o said they're going to win the World Cup. If it is how they're going to win the World Cup for Africa, I mean, I'm sorry, it doesn't cut it at all. They are not even going to win it. Honestly, because they are build up, they look labored sometimes when they are going forward. They look bereft of ideas. In the first half they were getting chances. It's like if the Swiss just saw that okay. These guys, if you don't cut them out, they're going to take one of those chances. And if you check out in the second half, they couldn't even get any clear-cut chance. Even when Vincent Abubakar came in, he was just running about, nothing. He didn't even do nothing, So I don't know. They have a lot of work to do. They have their work cut out. They are going to play against Serbia, and that's fine. Serbia lost against Brazil. But against Cameroon, I'm telling you, they're going to come all out. They're not going to sit back just like the way they did against Brazil. They're going to come all out against Cameroon, and they will be confident that they can nick it against the Cameroonians.
Okay, you guys should cut Cameroon some slack. Prophet Samuel Eto'o has said that they're going to win this World Cup. Guys, in other games, of course, we've talked about South Korea and Uruguay. Of course, that game ended in, and saw Brazil, Serbia, it ended 2-0. No surprises in that game, except for Brazil. They are praying that Neymar will be fit for their next game against Switzerland. But guys, let's look at today's game. Of course, Senegal, if you ask me, their tournament starts properly today, and they will be playing their host. Coyote, the first game, they disappointingly lost to the Netherlands, when we thought they could maybe get at least a point from their maybe toughest opponents in the group. But today, they will be facing the host, and expectedly, like all of us will be expecting now, we will want them to get at least 3 points. A point will not do them any good in this game. At least 3 points. Coyote, quickly.
Yeah, this is I think after everything said, after the first round of games, it is now falling on Senegal to get Africa's first win again, because none of them could do it in the first round. Now, if Senegal do not get the maximum point today, then they should just pack their load and go back home without playing. They should forfeit the last game, because everybody expects them to beat Qatar. Now, they are not even going to beat Qatar alone. They have to beat Qatar silly, because they have a 2-goal deficit to cancel. Then they need a positive goal difference. So that means they have to beat Qatar by 3 goals. Is it possible? Very, very possible. Qatar that I saw, they have very, very good individuals. They will have the whole stadium, the whole country behind them. But then that should not first the Senegalese. It is a duty that they must do, not for themselves alone. They have to do it for Senegal, and they have to do it for Africa. If you see, I have seen a lot of comparison, people comparing African football and Asian football. I still believe that in Africa we have better crops of players, although what we have lacked so far is organization and planning. Now, Senegal is the yardstick by which African teams are being measured. If they are not able to beat Qatar, then probably they do not deserve to be at the World Cup. It's as simple as that.
Okay, James, it seems it is very, very glaring that Senegal, they are still trying to cope with the absence of Sadio Mane, because we saw that in the first game against the Netherlands. At least going forward, we saw the trying to put something together in the attack, and everything failed. Today, now, what do you think Aliou Cisse should do? Like how they said, they need to score at least 3 goals against Qatar. And I know that the host will want to, at least do something for their fans. If at all they will not even make it out of the group, they want to do something and say, okay, if this game, at least let's get a point for our fans. But what do you think Cisse needs to do, differently from the Netherlands game? Now, thank God the opposition this time wouldn't be as tough as the Netherlands. So what do you think Senegal, Aliou Cisse, needs to do in this game to get at least 3 points and score at least 3 goals in this game?
We said it all. They'll have to put on their scoring boots. If it's about defending the midfield play, they have everything. We also saw what they did against the Netherlands is to score goals. They have to start scoring goals. No two ways about it. They just have to get into good areas and take their chances. I mean, that's just the only thing now. I mean, because in terms of balance of play, I mean, you cannot compare them with Qatar. We saw what they did against Netherlands. They were all over the Dutch team, if not for lots of concentration towards the end of the game. But this time around, they just have to go all out. Whoever is going to lead the attack, whether it's going to use a twin strike force or somebody is going to lead the line and being supported from either flank, I mean, everybody must put on their scoring boots. This is not a game where they will start throwing away chances, because by the time you start missing chances and if you're struggling to get opportunities, I mean, frustration will set in, desperation, and all these things. And they start provoking you, trying to draw out something out of you to, we saw what Portugal did against Ghana. They're trying to make sure this guy was sent off Seydou. Luckily the coach quickly brought him out, So that's, for me, that's what Senegal have to do. They just have to come out fighting. They just have to try as much as possible to, if they can get an early goal, I mean, that will calm some nerves, So, like I said, is to score goals, score and score and score. If it means scoring 5 goals, just have to, because that deficit, I mean, they just have to take care of, because at the end of the day, that might come into play at when the group fixtures end. Because if they should get a victory, good victory against Qatar, and the Dutch defeat Ecuador, I mean, it goes to show that their destiny will be in their hands. Because against they just praying that the Dutch team will beat the Ecuadorians with a good scoreline, so that maybe a draw. They might even go for a draw against Ecuador, because if they should go there looking for a must win, I mean, your Ecuadorian team too, they will not just relax and allow you to come and get all 3 points. They will make life difficult for you. So I mean, they just have to come out, get the goals, and get the victory.
Okay. So like you said, Otto Addo is still, I think I need to really mention that Otto Addo is really fuming about the penalty that was awarded to Ronaldo, because he said the referee gave what was not a penalty. He said everyone saw that. Why? Because it is Ronaldo or something? So it's still a question that all of us are still asking. And if you ask me, I think FIFA, the referee committee for this World Cup, should actually do something about this American referee, because he needs to answer for why he refused to check pitch side and monitor before awarding that penalty. Because immediately Ronaldo went down, he pointed straight to the penalty spot without even sure of what actually happened. He didn't even know whether Ronaldo elbowed Salisu, and he didn't go down. The pitch time monitor was there. The referee refused to check that. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for coming on our daily program yesterday at the World Cup.
Thank you, Femi. Let's hope all the best of luck to Senegal today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, always a pleasure, Femi.
Yeah, okay. So we hope that Senegal will at least maybe Africa's first win today. And Qatar, if you ask me, like this, Qatar is the cheapest opponent in this tournament.
They
so
are.
we hope that, yeah. So I think they should be able to get all the 3 points and score a number of good goals, at least more than what Ecuador scored against the world. So guys, thank you very much. Our viewers, of course, thank you for your comments and in our review of the Ghana game. It was mind-blowing. A lot of you after you pour out your mind. You talked about the game management. You talked about Odo shouldn't have pulled out Mohamed Kudus. Talk about poor officiating and a whole lot of things. We appreciate you for sticking with us, at least since this tournament began, or even during our daily countdown, 30-day countdown. Remember, so the build-up of the tournament. So until tomorrow, when we'll come around with another, of course, yesterday at the World Cup. And of course, tomorrow we'll have Morocco. So we'll be doing all of that preview for that game as well. Thank you for staying with us. I remain Olafemi Ashaolu. And once again, thank you guys for coming around, James and Kyle. So see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.
All right.